I'm Tom King. I'm Tom King, and this is 4K Skywatching Podcast.
Red alert!
Well, happy Friday to you all. I'm Tom King. This is 4K Skywatching Podcast. It's already just about the middle of April. It's the 11th into 2025. A quarter of the year has went by. I've been a pretty busy beaver. Hopefully the audio is pretty good tonight. If not, I can do some adjustments. A lot has happened in a week. It doesn't seem like a lot is going on, but a lot of stuff actually does come forward. After the last podcast I did, Jake and Skywatcher Group came forward with another video. We're going to get into that first off tonight. So I've been doing a lot of testing. So the show began with some time lapse. And these cameras that are running get great surveillance of the city. So when I say that I have pretty much most of the Chandler under surveillance, I do. I can go back at any camera in time and look at it. So I was messing around with different cameras doing different time lapses. Like some of them are built in, like the P1000 and the P900 have time lapses built in, but I could make a time lapse out of any camera. So I'm using surveillance cameras for time lapses. And you can get some interesting results with that. So I've been doing them here in the yard. So now it's time. I know kind of how all that works. So hopefully next week I have some time. I'm going to pack up the van and go mobile. We're going to see how good 5G can do on a podcast in the middle of the desert, skywatching with a whole different array of gear. And that's the stuff that I take with the Beast. So all the surveillance cameras and stuff that you see on the intro stay here, but the Beast is it's on a 4x4 little tow thing. It weighs about 30 or 40 pounds. It can handle payloads of like on a padded tilt of like 30, 40 pounds at least. It hasn't failed me yet. So I'm going to go remote in the desert. And that would be on a weeknight, work night. So that'd be somewhere maybe between 8 and midnight. So I'm trying to get that squeezed in between doing Friday podcast. This is going to be a fun show tonight. So thanks for tuning in. Truth Seeker, your first one in the house. Thanks for coming back. VP's here. Area Omni. Good to see you on Friday. Renee Cruz. Awesome. It's good to see you. New release from Jeremy Corbell. Yeah, that is on the docket tonight. We're going to go into that a little bit. Mostly going to go into the stuff Jake and the Skywatcher team have been covering. Okay, cool. I did. If I get it up to, I hit that like button and whatnot. If I get up too high, it seems like there's kind of an echoey type thing. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and get some of those skywatches in. Now at the end of the show, um, so anyway, what they did is they inspired me to look back a little bit. So I went on the NVR, and uh, they store a month each one of them or more. That I can upgrade them to 2 months. So I still have all the stuff from March 13th. I mean, I could bring it up in a few clicks of a mouse on the NVR. So I pulled off the west camera, the north camera, up, and the other one was the all sky camera. So four different 4K cameras, and I put them in a timeline. So 2 days, and then I went forward by 100%, 100 times, and squeeze that down. That's 29 minutes long. But it's an awesome time lapse. Storms come in and out, suns go up and down. I'm thinking I'm going to post those on Sunday, and it'll be in the afternoon, but it'll be one after another. So it'll be four of those. Will be about 2 hours long. Use them for whatever the hell you want. Letterbox them and use them as B-roll in your videos. There's also a new Phoenix Light documentary out. So that's out. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a different one. It took months to produce. It's much different than any Phoenix Light doc you've seen, where they have a limited amount of time, like maybe a week, to come in and try and figure out what happened 28 years ago. But this guy lives in town, Patrick, and he's got more subscribers than some of the movie stars I follow. I follow Jamie Kennedy, his podcast. He's crazy fun to do. But this guy has more, Patrick has more subs somehow. How? Patrick hasn't even started movies. Michael Biehn, the guy who killed the Terminator, right? Well, actually, Sarah Connor did. But, Navy SEALs, he's got more than both of these guys. So we'll talk about that tonight. It's great that we have Skywatcher group out there. Welcome to the club. There's a lot of people that have been doing this that they're not aware of, that aren't on the radar. They're not out on the lecture circuit. They probably heard of Bledsoe. I mean, he's pretty popular, but there's hundreds and hundreds of guys out there just with their cameras. They don't have crazy stuff like I do, that amount, like half of Best Buy. That's kind of what I got going here. But they just have what their wives or husbands will let them, have for gear. And they're doing great work too, but nobody knows who they are. So I'm hopefully, if I can come in contact with people like this, let me know. You'll get on this show and we'll talk and we'll discuss it, because we are the peers of Skywatcher. They're new to the club. They've got some cool helicopters and all that stuff, but there's been people doing this for a hell of a long time, so they need to look through our back catalog and do deep cuts from our collection. And I got a couple of here tonight that we're going to look through that they can use to compare with their footage. So tonight's show, we're going to look at just the Skywatcher footage from the show, their YouTube channel, and go to their website too. I'm going to show the website a little bit later. But their YouTube channel has Skywatcher 2 out. If you haven't seen it, 29-minute long video. I cut that down to 3 minutes and about 40 seconds of just the videos. Okay. Now, there were 9 different types that they went through. I've read some of the comments online, some of the social media just trashing these people. And you're lucky that we even have them here to begin with. Back in the 90s, we were lucky that we had Dr. Bruce Maccabee and Village Labs with Jim De La Tesla that could analyze footage for nothing. We don't have that anymore. So now it's up to, I guess, anything goes now to analyze footage. So we're lucky to even have Jake in the Skywatcher group at all. I mean, where the hell are we have a huge college here, but all the money goes in football. We should have the money going into groups like this. I'd like to see universities actually fund better science. We do have ASU and they have astronomy and all that, but this stigma keeps them away. We need to break those barriers down, and people like Jake and the crew are doing it. I don't know where the money's coming from to finance 2 or 3 dozen guys out in the desert and doing what they're doing. Hubert here, I need to talk to you about wiring this pan and tilt system. because the lab here after tonight, I'm turning this TV sideways and I have to tear a big hole in the drywall to get outside. I'll show you a little bit about that later. It's a new Pana tilt system. We have also going to talk about the thermal burn-in that happened last time and tell you what to avoid so you don't burn your thermal camera up. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Wow, that's a gold mine. Those fake magazines back then. You know, you could amazing account, but early saucer fans we can call back then. Yeah, so what they had back then are probably today's type of UFOs. Because if not, maybe they were phased out. Like, the F-150 and the Corvettes change. That's a brand here, but the models change and they get updated. You would think the aliens would update their craft too, but most of them seem to be blobs. And the Skywatcher group did a breakdown of 9 different types of objects, and some of them I've seen. They got pretty trashed on social media saying that these are a bunch of dummies that filmed balloons. I don't think so. I don't think that you can get the hours flying a helicopter and mistake a bunch of balloons. But they could be mistaken. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they have more data than we saw. This is the trap that you can set for a debunker. Is you show them just a few seconds of a video, and they think that's the totality of it. Then they debunk that 3 seconds, and then you go, oh, well, wait a minute, now let's show you the wide angle and the rest of the camera angles. Then, oh shit, now they got to make up something else. So they might have radar data. They might have visual data of some of the objects that they said were balloons. I'm going to wait for that to come out. Be patient. Don't be quick to judge. They already have a lot of data out real quick. Like a myth. In Phoenix Lights, that craft flew down that state. No one taped it. No, that goddamn boomerang was taped immediately. The reverse happened. By the time it hit Carefree, which is just the beginning of Phoenix, we had a guy out there, Terry Proctor, filmed it immediately. He had a camera ready. Now, the rest of the town, they didn't do a good job, but it got filmed immediately. So these guys are out. They just came out. The egg video is, I mean, this podcast, during, its rollout, we had the egg video. We played that. So not too long, we already have the Skywatcher stuff. So they're going around at a good pace. But they need to be kind of careful. I hear this all the time from my friends. One of them says, Tom, what you're doing is crazy. My friend has a Ferrari. And he's like, you could still, if you stop what you're doing now, you can get that Ferrari, and then we can work on them, and race each other or something. And I'm like, no, I don't want that Ferrari. I got this other crazier shit. I got a mask, and I got radar, and all this other stuff. So we're lucky that we even have Jake and his people doing it. So they might have radar of this stuff. They might have radio frequencies coming off this. How would you get a radio frequency off a balloon? We don't know because we haven't seen their data. The trolls online, like Green Street, is asking, give me all the data. He wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it. He's just there to shit bomb on them. So let's hope that there's more whistleblowers in the background or more Skywatcher groups out there that can assemble. This should be university-wide. This should be what Avi Loeb is doing. So let's start let's just see what's going on here around in the lab. So radio frequency. I'm not getting good radio frequencies off this because the antenna is enclosed in the house. So when I Hulk and break drywall, Tom, put in radar tomorrow, and I break through the drywall, then I could put a line through there so I can have the antenna outside. So the next podcast, I got to go up on the roof anyway. Next podcast, we should get some signals here. UFODAP is running. Let's arm this crazy thing and see what it does. This is live. So no, my cameras don't burn into the sun. So now it's filming my other Skywatch. This has to be dialed in or it's going to film all night all night of crazy town. I don't have the radar up and running right now. I got some stuff running, but I'm not going to overload the computer system. And you know, I have 128 gig of RAM in here, and I've yet to see this thing choke. And the other thing is, the other computer Alienware that I ran this off of, it would crash. And when I switched to this other one, um, the the NVR never crashes the capture card. So let's look at what's going on with the clip of Jake, and then let's do a breakdown. So this is, oh, forgot to say, this is 8K Skywatching tonight. I've been busy. I took what I extracted from Skywatcher and I ran it through an 8K system. Uh, you can't run 8K through the codec 264. You have to run it in ProRes or something like that. But I don't even know what the file size of this is. But we're going to watch something that's like 7,800 resolution by like 4,000. So let's check it out.
Objects that seemingly are able to appear and disappear in real time. We're talking about objects.
Each UAP class has different characteristics. Some shimmer, some tumble, some spin. Some look like they're alive and they just fly like a living object in the sky. UAPs are extremely hard to image. What is seen with the naked eye is generally not what is seen under camera. The 22, 23 flying in different flight formations, different flock formations. The climb very radically. We've seen these a couple years in a row, and usually we see them in groups. Maybe perhaps a cylinder kind of in the middle that has a different light like a flame, and then it vibrates and pulses as it moves through space. Class 4 seems to only come during certain activities in conjunction with perhaps the Class 1. We don't have enough data yet to confirm. Tumble and rotate as it moves through the sky. Rates very, very fast. It literally looks like a crystal in the sky, but the head is purple and black in color, and then it has tentacles. The Class 8 we call the Hornet. It looks very similar to the Class 7, the jellyfish, except for it's bigger, and it's almost like a jellyfish carrying something. The Skywatcher during our California event, it's an emerging class, and we have strong evidence that it probably exists. Gizmo-colored blob in the sky. I don't even know how else to say it. It pulses and vibrates. And
Every day, we've identified some.
it was very glinty, looked metallic. Through our optics, we've always thought it was purple or black. Frankly, the reflections
look like 8 meters total in distance from top to bottom. The top will look like a mushroom, like a big jellyfish. It's very, very, very bright white, like 3 flashing panels, like equal distance going down it. I've seen some the last couple of days through a sensor, so I'd seen 1,000 feet. It looked like a jumper under canopy at 4,000 feet, which is the same distance when they pull. So that part is crazy. Then I knew, like, you know, I'm not seeing stuff. There it is.
This section of the video, I looked at it and I kind of see where they're going with this. I can see things in some of these videos that other people can't see because I filmed some similar stuff. So it's kind of like you got to have the experience, I guess, watch it. It could be other people's videos too. But I think where they're going at is it looks like there's a big head there with 2 black eyes, and there's like a spine. It's almost like in Predator when he takes a body and he rips the body apart. He keeps the skull and the spine. It's like that type of damn thing flying around. Creepy as hell. There's a history of this type of stuff. There's a video I remember, I think it was from Mexico, that shows 2 brain-looking things that are flying next to each other in slow formation. And when you look at them, there's thousands of these black, not thousands, but maybe several hundred of these black bubbles, like balloons. So people are saying, well, there's the balloons. Then you add up how much that would cost in balloons. You're like, well, that's $3,000 worth of balloons each. Who the hell does this? Anyway, there's a history of that stuff. So that's where they're going with it, I think. And they're saying that's that type of jellyfish. And I see where they're going with it, and I think that they're looking at this OG jellyfish, this one. So I think that's where Skywatcher Group is going with a few of those jellyfish video releases. That they're probably thinking it's that. What do you guys think? You guys saw, hey Wes, good to see you. And they got them on thermal too. So if they're balloons, do you get a string on thermal? Because the string would have to be given off heat to see it. Because thermal is just an interpretation of heat. So are they jellyfish? That's, I guess, the argument. And if they are doing that type of argument, and everybody else is glib and say, no, these are just balloons, they might really have something there. They also mentioned that they took a helicopter up and flew after it. I'm not a helicopter pilot, but I know it takes a while to warm those things up and get them in the air. And then they said the helicopter got stuck and their instruments went to hell. I'd love to see that video. To me, that's the biggest story that they got, that they can maybe put forward is, look, here's a helicopter frozen in the air. What the hell is superpowers that can do that? Did they have video of that? I'm asking, did they have video of the helicopter frozen? Is there video inside? I saw something of the gauges going wrong, but I don't know if that was B-roll, intercut footage, or if that's actually footage from the inside. But I'd love to hear more about that. So we just got to wait and look at what they got. Now, Jake said in 12 months that he's going to have something. And that's a pretty damn tall order because you put a timeline on yourself. And this guy is saying that they can get eggs to land. And I'm thinking one of their crew might be that guy. We haven't heard that yet. But that's, man, I don't go that far. I'll say this. I'll go as far as saying there's no doubt that I'm going to film another UFO. I don't know when, but I am going to film it, and I'm going to film it on some of these different camera systems. I don't know when. So I don't put a timeline on it. I can look back and say I usually get something pretty interesting about every 9 months on average. But I collect a lot of stuff I don't post. One of them we'll see here in a minute. So there's other videos that I've seen in the past that show, let's say, what's called the string or the spine. It shows it being lit up as it goes down. And I went to the grocery store, and I was looking at the balloons, and I'm like, could it be different silver balloon strings? Like a metallic one, the sun's reflecting off. What's giving off that heat? But we got to wait. We got to wait to see the data. I mean, I like Gary Nolan. I don't think he's going to go somewhere and purposely shit the bed and ruin his credibility. He calls bullshit like I do. So I like his flavor of talking shit. That's the type of shit I talk. So anyway, so back to that one. There's let's go to the classification system here. So class 1 is what they call this tetra, and this is from Skywatcher AI. So if you haven't been to their website, go to Skywatcher AI and check them out. I mean, they have all their classifications. They're putting their money where their mouth is. So I really appreciate the help. All of us little guys who aren't, rich and famous, and I'm funding this with my own blood and treasure as far as I can. We have limits. So the first one was this Tetra one that's flipping around. Second one is the Tic Tac. That one is seen quite often. It's a popular UFO. We have the Blob. The Blob is energy. It is not a nuts and bolts UFO. It's not a sports model. It's not a cube within a cube. It's an orb, what people call. It's a ball of energy, kind of like the blue orb stuff I showed a couple of episodes back. There's nobody in it, but it's under the same intelligence that the rest of these objects are that seem to, I don't know, work together. Sometimes they eject one from another. Beam of light. Um, this one they say vibrates. So that's an interesting one. It hovers, but I think they get that in thermal. And you can view if you view the details, uh, you get a lot more information, and the blanks aren't filled in yet. A bright star. This is another one similar to the blob. Um, and then the jellyfish. That one they said it comes out all the time. Now this one, a hornet. I'm on balloons with this one. I mean, I'm on balloons with that one, and the egg, of course. So yeah, another cool sunset is coming in. So some of these video types of things I've seen, not all of them. The jellyfish, you keep in mind the jellyfish, there could be different types, so we don't know. We have flying humanoids, which are people flying around with, those jet-powered things in their hands and their back. Then we have these weird experimental things. We don't know what they are, kind of like the video that I shot, kind of like the video Chris shot. Then we have these weird things, like the thing over Baghdad that looks like a ghoul. I don't know if that's in the classifications of these jellyfish type, like if that's the same thing that flew over in the Corbell video. And then we have a bunch of black balloons too. There are balloons. I mean, most of them are going to be that until we can slide them into another slot and rule all that out. Look deep into the details, like folks here do. We go into the weeds. Anyway, back to the media here. We're going to look at the red one that Jake was talking about. Some of these I did some work on this week.
Maybe perhaps a cylinder kind of in the middle that has a different light like a flame, and then it vibrates and pulses as it moves through space. Maybe perhaps a cylinder kind of in the middle that has a different light like a flame, and then it...
All right, so looking at this first red one, and this one would be class 3 blob. This is heavily digital. I can tell by looking at whatever this is, it's a crop and zoom. So people are complaining, some of the comments I heard about that they need to get some tripods or something. I don't know what they're using, but some of these are cropped. I think this is one example where the entire wide angle, we just don't get to see.
Kind of in the middle that has a different light like a flame, and then...
Okay, for reference, off the top of my head, Steve Barone has an incredible video of one of these on his channel, filmed at night flying over Las Vegas. It's a pure ball of red energy. He filmed with the Luna Optics night vision device. I got something similar too. Let's look at what I got. And this one is coming out on the 22nd. So what this is a video that I shot of a red hockey puck about 2 years ago, and it came and hovered, and it's rotating, and it's doing some violent stuff. It's the way it's rotating. So I've looked into these. This model I never see. I used to film these all the time in the 90s. And I call them hockey pucks because that's what the Jaime Maussan and the Mexico team did. And the hockey pucks have like this black line under it, like a hockey puck, but then on top of it, some silver thing with a small dome. I don't really see these around anymore, but this time I did, and it's spinning red, and sometimes the red just completely goes away, and all we see is silver. So this is a comparable one to their blob class 3, but that's mainly because of the color. This could also, I mean, with the equipment I have now with the 4K or the 45. I mean the 2K camera with the 45x zoom. You would resolve what this is. And notice there's no string under this. This thing looked like in the sky it was I don't know, about 8,000 feet. And people ask, well, how do you know that? How do you know that? Well, when you watch as much the sky as much as I do, and you watch it in time lapse, and you watch clouds, watch sunshines and rainbows, and you see thousands of incoming aircraft, you start getting a knack of about where those clouds are. And then now we have that cool tool to the ABSD or flight radar, and we can see how high these jets are. So that's something that I have that's comparable to their class 3 object. Wes, if you guys know, can you guys drop links? I need to make Wes a moderator on here. Can you guys put links in the chat? I haven't seen any yet. Maybe there's some things I got to do to allow that. Well, we got more media to go through. So let's go through the jellyfish. There was quite a few videos that they have of the jellyfish. Yeah, that video, I've had it sitting here forever. That red hockey puck was one of the ones I showed George Knapp, who's sitting in his chair. It was that one. It was the green electric tube, the M video, the March 13th one. I think another one. There was like 5 or 6 videos that Netflix team was interested. But that was one of them, and I just been so busy. I just haven't. That's going to be coming out on the 22nd. The edit's done. I just got to do a voiceover because it was filmed on surveillance camera. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that somehow, but we need to move forward because I don't want to fix it live. So I took their jellyfish stuff and I cut that down, and I stabilized some of it, and some of it I ran through AI to take a look at it. So let's look at some of this jellyfish video.
Every day, we've identified some.
It was very glinty, looked metallic. Through our optics, we've always thought it was purple or black. Frankly, the reflection
Look like 8 meters total in distance from top to bottom. The top will look like a mushroom, like a big jellyfish. It's very, very, very bright, like 3 flashing panels, like equal distance going down it. I've seen some the last couple of days through a sensor, so I'd seen 1,000 feet. It looked like a jumper under canopy at 4,000 feet, which is the same distance when they pull. So that part is crazy.
There's a lot of camera shake in some of that, so you can tell it's handheld. In this one, they froze the image, and you can see a couple of what looks like black eyes, I guess, that no matter what direction this head turns, as a profile is looking straight at the camera in the center, and then kind of an off angle. So I looked for that. I looked for that stuff, and I said, let's see if I can see it too.
Then I knew, like, I'm not seeing stuff. There it is.
The nodules on the tentacles light up. And again, this light appears to us to go from head to tail and pulse and light up the nodules as it goes. Also, sometimes it looks like an automaton or something with like an alien movie where it's got like the tail kind of hanging out, like it's seeking something. And sometimes it looks like it's a jellyfish in the sky. It seems to undulate as it moves.
Sorry, our audio was cut. So that was the jellyfish, one of the ones that they record a lot. If they film this a lot, they can get to the bottom of this. So if we look at what they have on this jellyfish, yeah, they have some kind of head. And with the tentacles, you can tell that they are looking for the classic OG jellyfish that I played earlier. So they're saying it has a head. This is pretty interesting what they're putting out. It has demonstrated electromagnetic interference capabilities, conducted sustained electro-warfare effects that disrupt the team to the effect did not directly target or weaponize. So there you have it. they might have some evidence that this thing isn't a balloon. Uh, and it looks like they got some IR sensor data coming soon. Well, hey, that's some pretty heavy shit. That they have electro-optical. It'll be loaded on here. Infrared. They got radar signature, so they got a balloon on radar. Do balloons pick up on radar? Only the wealthy know, it seems, because you just can't go out and get your hands on this. It takes a hell of an effort to get a radar and a license. RF. So wait, we're getting radio frequencies on it, bouncing off it, and a full report is in progress. So, yeah, man, this is exciting shit. There's a lot of people that just wrote this off as balloons, and it's balloons with electro uh, optical jamming. What kind of balloon jams your system? What kind of balloon can stop a helicopter in the sky? I know of. That's one hell of a balloon. I mean, you got to think about the job, man, of the helicopter pilot, the dude sitting in the other chair with the camera, and they're doing all the shit we wish we could do, man, that we dream to do this. Say, fly right up to that. I want to film that fucking alien head. Let's go, you know. And then, oh, the helicopter froze. Fucking A. Man, that must be a hell of an experience. So, they got radar on it. So I've also wondered, do you get balloons on radar? We're going to find out. These answers are going to come out in 2025, whether it's from these guys, me, the Tedesco brothers, or somebody else. But I think we're moving ahead at a good clip. You know, not as fast as everyone would want, but the community of skywatching is doing something, and they have they put together that 58-page report. It's on their website. Look at just a little bit of it. I think it's a good measuring stick of what we're doing. Yeah, alive. That's the thing. These things could be a class of entity, or let's say that the alien could, or the gray, or whatever those things are, could leave the ship and go solo. Just like how in the International Space Station, the humans got to put on a flight suit with little air rockets, and they go solo. So yeah, there was an offer on social media of a guy who filmed Good Burger 2, a cinematographer. He's got an 8K camera that goes up to 120 and 240 frames per second. This is exactly what Skywatchers need. Camera probably costs $250,000 bucks. There's also these YouTube channel. I think it's called something like 250 frames per second. And they have these cameras that they film. It costs about $250,000 each, and they film in high resolution 4K at slow motion. And they film like bullets shattering and showing you, you know, interesting stuff. This is what we would need. But these type of cameras that film at such extreme high speed, like 1,000,000 frames a second, they don't seem like they can record longer than a few seconds because I think they generate a hell of a lot of heat. But man, they might take that offer up if that jellyfish comes every time they summon it. That could be some spectacular footage. One thing that I know as a skywatching expert that others don't, like Mick Bless, is where they're skywatching. I had a discussion today with another guy about this. They should not be seeing sky trash at all at the area. I heard it's Texas. Texas is pretty fucking big. It could be anywhere. But when you go out in the desert, you don't experience balloons and trash like as many times as these guys have been filming. Because I've done this. I went up to Casa Grande, which is halfway between here and Tucson, and set up shop with other skywatchers. We didn't even see a grocery bag. You know, we didn't see nothing. There's no air trash there. Now, if I went east of town over Miami Globe, Superior, Arizona, yeah, they're going to pick up all the shit in the wind that blows in one direction, which is usually heading east. So we were having a discussion, is this location, say, east of the city Austin or east of a major city in Texas? Because if it is, they're downwind of millions of just newspapers and whatever dust devils throw up in the sky. Now, if they're not, that's a different story. Because if you go in, let's say, the middle of South Dakota, you're not going to film balloons every day. Balloons cost money. How just when guys, when it's Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, they giving us those balloons in the grocery store with the roses and shit for free? Fuck no. Somebody's paying for them, and there ain't nobody in the middle of Wyoming, South Dakota, wherever, just launching balloons willy nilly. You don't get that stuff. You just don't. Um, so that's a factor. They shouldn't have that, and they also are saying some stuff in these videos that I'm seeing. Let's go through this again.
Every day.
So I took this video here, and I can see what they're looking at. They're looking at that head, and it reminds me of something in Star Wars. There's a Jedi in the Star Wars movie that looks like this. Let me show you that.
Every day, we've identified some.
It was very glinty, looked metallic. Through our optics, we've always thought it was purple or black, frankly.
Kit Fisto. That's kind of what this jellyfish balloonish thing is. That's jamming their radar and fucking with their thermal and shutting down their helicopter. That's crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, onto that. Dog whistle, think about it. They already told us, I think. I think they already kind of told us what they're doing. Where to look, but not the exact location. So, all right, think about that with you dog lovers out there. Your dog can hear stuff that we can't. And they're talking about, I guess these UFOs can hear something we can't. And it's a digital. So they have their psionics, which is their mental component, which is interesting. The Skywatcher Ii will be about that. So that'll be a lot of woo, woo, woo in that one. But they have another one that's electronic. So I'm thinking they're taking something like a hacker RF1, and they're broadcasting some type of low frequency thing that we can't hear. That's ultra low frequency. Like there's experts in that. This has been in UFO books for decades of ultra low frequencies can mess with UFOs or something. So if this is another theory too, if the dog whistle works, so that's why I think of like in UFO, so it's a low frequency thing that this is my guess. We'll see later if I'm right. So they put that out, and this jellyfish shows up, keeps its distance, and keeps out of really good optical range, but screws with some of their equipment. That's a really interesting thing to study if you think about what the fuck is that? What's that thing that's messing with our stuff each time? Man, I hope this is getting documented. I hope they get a TV show or it becomes like a Skinwalker Ranch or something. But if they get like a TV show, then we know this will be rolled into 5 seasons and we'll still be in like 2030. Still wondering what the hell. But to fly after a jellyfish in a helicopter is a hell of a thing if they're jamming radar. That's what they said on the website. And when they say something, it comes out. So the dummy, don't listen to the dummies and the bots on social media taking a shit on all this. There's some there. And let's get to the pulsing part next, because this is very interesting to me. So we look at this clip pulsing.
Every day, we've identified.
So I see stuff other people don't because you have to have the eye. So when you watch this, you will see the thing disappear and then light up. Right there, it disappeared. How did the balloon disappear? Where did the light go? See, almost the entire object disappeared, and then all of a sudden, boom, it becomes 3 times its original size on the head, and illuminates,
day,
and then shrinks.
we've identified.
Blows up, and you see the eyes kind of go whack. and then it shrinks.
It was very glinty, looked metallic. Through our optics, we've always thought it was purple or black. Frankly, the reflection
Look like 8 meters total. In,
Let me show you.
distance from top to
I have a
bottom.
similar
The top
video.
will look like a mushroom, like a big jellyfish. It's very, very.
This is a video I shot of the electric green tube. This is slowed down. See how it pulses bright and then it goes down? It's a different class of UFO than they have in the night. And this one might be an orb, but see how it has a spine of 4 rings going down below it? It pulses in and out. In one of the videos, they talked about that this was a heartbeat. So now you've seen the green one. Let's do that electric tube again.
Every day, we've identified some.
it was very glinty, looked metallic. Through our optics, we've always thought it was purple or black. A cylinder kind of in the middle that has a different light like a flame, and then it vibrates and pulses as it moves through space. Maybe perhaps a cylinder kind of in the middle.
That's
that has a
the
different light
red
like a
one
flame.
stabilized.
And then
Every
And then
day,
this is the
we've
jellyfish
identified
one I
some.
stabilized.
it was very glinty, looked
I
metallic.
didn't do the whole
Through our
video.
optics, we've always thought it was purple or black.
I went
Every
through.
day,
I went through and I saved some of these head images. I took randomly 4 of them, and then I put them in the Topaz AI converter, and we're going to look at that now. Thanks, Wes. So let me cue this up. So we have as a window down. AI. This adapt is crazy. Oh, I think it's my media list here. Yeah, there it is. All right, here we go.
every day, we've identified some.
All right, so what we have here is we have a licensed copy of Topaz AI, and they keep trying to get me to buy more. So I'm going to click on this picture here. So let's go through the process. And this sees faces. It'd be interesting if AI would detect an alien face. All right, so here we have, and this one is the manta ray. So this is the class 5. And this is when it was tumbling. And a lot of their videos, they mention tumbling. So this is nothing new either. The M video that I shot, the one that does that bounce off the sky twice, the portions that I tracked it and stabilized it, that object is tumbling the entire time. To me, it looks like optical sky trash that's the size of a beanbag. It's about a meter. And it's rotating around, stopping, bouncing up. I don't know what the hell that is. But UFOs rotate, so get used to that. Get used to them tumbling and doing stuff. There was a video they had of the Tic Tac, and they said it was dropping. And I could kind of tell they were trying to track with it. So they do have some pan and tilt systems, but that's not the totality of everything, because sometimes there could be one of their spotters outside, and he's filming it, and then calling in, hey, I got visual something, and then they're trying to do it. You know how fucking hard that is? If I have Rhonda outside and she says, I see a hockey puck, where? It's over the tree. And I'm like, shit, which camera do I use? Then I got to try. And if there's no clouds, you have a chance in hell of finding it because it's a needle in the haystack. It's a hunt. It's a fish. You got to go in with good gear. It's like when you go fishing, you don't break out a Ronco pocket fisherman. No, you bring out the proper shit, the right tools. So that thing is tumbling. So anyway, back to the AI. So what this looks like here is I just thought, weird. So I can go to here. I blow it up to 4x. So that's blown up to 7600 pixels on the fly. Then we can look at different AI looks at it, and we can go with different levels of blurring. And I'm using a 3090 processor here to look through these. Interesting, but yeah, this can take the imagination way too far. What this looks like to me is a Cylon helmet. Looks like, for a minute, looks like the top half of the Cylon helmet. But um, let's look at the second picture here, and I'll close this one out. All right, let's look at this image. This was another one of it when it flipped over. See what AI has to take a look at that. Kind of really went too far with the black. Look at the graphics here. I mean, you can only get so much. West, I would love to take your pictures, brother, and run them through here. You got some fucking killer egg photos that you took. And when people said, where are the high resolution photos? Where are the 4K? Talk to Wes Decker. He's got them. They're out there. But we're not big dogs. We're not Jeremy Corbell that can shine a light on something and, all of a sudden, it's on a million people see it. It's on News Nation. So yeah, I can really adjust some of these. So this is on this is the class 1 photo, the 5, the manta ray. In the manta ray, again, that looked like a cardboard box flipping or something. Probably what the skeptics are going to say, but go to the page. Did it jam the radar? Did it fuck with radio frequencies? Did it show up on a dog whistle? I mean, I can't imagine balloons show up when you just tune in something on a radio frequency and wait, and then there it is in the middle of nowhere, because nothing's going to happen. There's people watching this show that don't live in big cities. They don't have sky stuff. They're not going to have 300 sorties show up in a month. So don't listen to the what I call noise. I welcome these guys into the UFO operator group, because there's like 100, maybe 130 people that are doing boots on the ground stuff, that they've put their treasure and their blood into this, and they're doing stuff. Then there's it used to be about 1,000, now it's exploded, maybe about 100,000 people that study everything those 100 people do, and they rip them apart. And those 100 people are on the shows, the podcasts. They get booked for, subtract your money in the desert and shit like that. So they're the ones doing stuff. So that other 1,000, 100,000, get to work. Get to fucking work and join those other 100 people. Put your sweat and your blood and your money where your mouth is, where your keyboard is, or they're thumbing on social media going, I don't think so, fuck you, trolling. That's not going to answer this. We all want the answers to these questions, but it's going to take a group effort to fucking do it. I'm not waiting around listening for Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam already said UFOs are real, but they haven't said to what extent and how far and how deep is his cover-up. That'll come out like rings in the water in a ripple effect. Very, very slow. But we can do this together. I mean, there's work here, and this work needs to be done. So moving on to where we are next. See, we got manta ray video. I'm going to look at this stabilize. Let's stabilize some of this stuff. But I'm waiting for when they eventually post the full record, the metadata. I think we can go to town on it.
Spinning on multiple axes as it comes through the frame.
And you said this is going perpendicular to the wind.
As well, the same heartbeat signal, which is really a boost in our analysis, because only UAPs appear to have the vertical and horizontal heartbeat. Manned aircraft, balloons, birds, tumbling and spinning on multiple axes.
Play it again. Let's see if you picked up on it.
And you said this is going perpendicular to the wind.
As well, the same heartbeat signal, which is really a boost in our analysis because only UAPs appear to have the vertical and horizontal heartbeat. Manned aircraft, balloons,
The heartbeat.
birds.
Only UAPs have them. You don't get that shit from balloons. You don't get a grocery bag with a couple of handles, go wham, and then pulse, wham. Never seen it, but you see them from these strange objects. These are a classification of an object that we can't really pigeonhole. You can't pigeonhole them. It's the gimbal. It's something different. This phenomenon, yeah, well, yeah, obviously, but we're not going to. You can buy some depleted uranium, but yeah, not enough to get them here. Oh, thank you, Wes. If I get enough supporters, we're going to have a lot of live stuff that you can't get as a non-supporter. The amount of people in there, I might do live, totally live Skywatches every Saturday or Sunday night or something. It depends on the amount of people. But thank you very much, Wes, for that. Yeah, there's a lot of these people out there, and what's really great is there's a way to see that. Oh, I got to show you before we move on to this. Showed you the tube. I need to show you my creepy thing. Let's check this out. I processed this video just for all you people.
Doubling and spinning on multiple axes as it comes through the frame.
And of course, I fucked up and got the wrong video. All right, so this was shot 3 years ago. And this is a typical Skywatch. I collect stuff. If it's interesting, I save it because it might be interesting later, but it might not be interesting then. And I do a process where I darken the screen, and there's something by that cloud. So we'll see if it pops out at you. There's something flying in between that cloud. There's some little whatever. This is at the maximum range of 25 power, so I can't push in any farther. If I had that 45 power, it'd be a different story. But as it came down, it looks like it's just below the clouds, it's way up there. I can see a string hanging down. So I looked around. I didn't think, hey, this is a UFO. Oh, okay, here's an enhancement of that section. That's easier to see. So just about, let's see, here you can see that bottom part. Right about there, you can see what I think is a string hanging down it. Now, am I wrong? Could that jam electro-optical? Have we been looking at this all wrong? So that's a textbook, I guess, jellyfish type object that they have. I have stuff sitting like that in the library here, which is cool. Is I have this. I've consolidated everything in this fucking computer. Got 128 gig of RAM. I think it cost me like $500. Put all these SSD hard drives in there. It has everything I've ever filmed, almost from. I think it goes back to 1984. Up to now, so because everything I had was fragmented, so and then I could pull it up here by just going to a folder. So everything's getting better. So yeah, that's I tried to get a box of lead, and then I was going to cut the corners with the razor knife and fold it, and then put this cosmic watch inside, so only the muons coming down can hit it, because muons can hit it from the side. Rhonda said absolutely not. She's not watching, so yeah, maybe a depleted uranium purchase is coming. So let's still got a little more before we move on to Corbell. So Skywatcher Ii, they have their team, and they all dress nice. You know what? No winger t-shirts. Nice suits. And they got Gary. If they got Gary there, I'm interested. And I don't know who all these guys are. Now, I read on Reddit that these guys are all LARPing and cosplaying. Now, I'd like to see them walk up to Fred Baker or this Michael Vista and say that, because he looks like both of them look like they're black belts in something. And yeah. And then look, it says meet execution. Yeah, it could be a play on words, but you be careful about talking shit about these people, because yeah, meet your execution. So they have all this documentation. This is the way. This is absolutely the way to go. So I 100% support what these guys are doing, and they have all their capabilities up there where they're at. They recently said that Skinwalker Ranch is level 4, and so 1,000 threat stories. So visit this page tomorrow and see if it's over 1,000. See how often it's updated. A very nice website. 400 years combined, 20 experts. That's a great fucking team, man. These guys are going to move the ball forward a lot forward than the nut jobs in Congress are. Capability. So this is their paper, and these are the collection of different objects. I expect this to grow up to a couple of dozen. They don't have the hockey puck on here. They don't have the Phoenix Lights craft. They don't have. We have called them VLOs, Bill Hamilton, very large objects. These are the ships that are a mile wide, transparent. There's no place for them to be stored at Area 51. So I implore you, if you have time to, get up, not now. Tonight's Friday, so people are unwinding. But look at this. Take over some coffee. This is what we all wish MUFON would do, right? MUFON sits around and collects shit after it happens, and then they tell you, "Hey, I also need to collect $15 and give you a shitty magazine." So this is their basics here. So let's move down to their graph and talk about this, because I'm in here too, and not only, and I am in here, you guys might be in here too. So let's see where we fit, and hopefully everyone here fits at least at level 1. So level 1 is preliminary observation. Initial reports of the phenomenon, often anecdotes. Hey, a friend, somebody saw something. You collect accounts, photos and videos, radar hits if you can find them. Perform basic checks: where, what, who, when, and why, to gauge credibility. And then you get to know the witness. Are they full of shit? So this is basically not you talking about your experiences. This isn't watching YouTube. This isn't going to fucking Twitter. This is going out and talking to people. This is ground research. So if you've ever went out and talked to other people, you hit level 1. So congratulations, you made it on here. Level 2, data collection. That's where you have a planned collection of data with instruments, cameras, sensors, systematic recording around the clock. You start documenting and logging things. You put them into folders. You start having a uniform collection. You can put them in a cloud so several researchers can access them. You can have researchers from all over the world add to this cloud. UFODAP has a system like that. When you collect and capture, you can upload it. And because you have fragmented captures that are siloed off, we're getting not very far. But if we have them in a cloud system, we start going, aha, they have heartbeats. Aha, they have patterns, and we can get somewhere. So you validate data, authentication via check the photos, rule out stars, look at maps, check flight radar, check the ABS-D. Once you got that level, you're level 2. And I suspect we got a bunch of level 1s and 2s here, probably, or higher. Level 3, in-depth scientific analysis of collected data. That's what I'm doing. I'm collecting data. I'm looking at other people's data. I'm looking for similarities and matches. Measure characteristics, speed, trajectory, light spectrum, test hypothesis against known phenomenon. Could these be balloons? Are they? Why aren't they balloons? What has this done that says this isn't a grocery bag, this isn't a balloon, this isn't a bird, this isn't a plane, a star, or a planet? There's multiple data sources, if available, for infrared and radar and cross verification. Uh, I'm at least knee deep into level 3. Level 4, let's see if I got this far. Some of you guys might be level 3, but if they're talking thermal and radar and visual, then you got some skin in the game. You got probably hundreds, if not thousands, to get to level 3. If you're using psionics, you probably haven't hit level 3 yet. It depends. If that's one of many cameras, then maybe you did. But you've got to, like I said, you can't get level 3 fishing for UFOs with a pocket fisherman from Ronco. You got to get a proper fishing rod to collect this stuff. Level 4, share data and findings. That's what I'm doing live. And I'm totally transparent of everything I've done with independent experts or organizations for verification. Draft paper for archived publications and peer reviews, and invite third-party analysis to review this. I've sent some of my stuff. So what I don't know, you guys tell me. I would think that I'm trans between level 3 and level 4. That I'm somewhere into level 3. But once I get this radar up and running, and then I'm hitting 4, at least, doing some stuff. I mean, that's where in MUFON, we go look back. MUFON is level 1 and level 2. They don't have any radar. They don't have any live stuff. All their shit is locked behind a paywall. They actually went backwards. They're not moving forwards. They're taking the ball and going backwards, not forward. Sad to say, because they have the numbers. They have the numbers to do something. They don't have the wherewithal to overhaul the shit. The president's overhauling the country right now. A lot of people like it. A lot of people don't. That's the level of balls that needs to be done in MUFON, is to totally fucking start over. Yeah, I would not talk shit about those guys and then think, yeah, you're gonna meet them at a conference, because these people that talk shit, they go to these places and they see you face to face. We're gonna get into that on the Phoenix Light one. Oh, thanks, Dave. Thanks and Ray. Fucking A. Yes. 3 supporters. You guys, I'm going to probably do live Skywatches on Sundays now. Another thing I thought about is I can collect all the footage that happened last night and upload it nightly. That takes a while, so it takes 2 hours to get off the NVR. But to take 48 hours off an NVR from a 4K camera takes 90 minutes, and then to process it into 30 minutes from 2 days takes about 4 hours on this heavy-duty fucking machine. I can do it, man. If I get supporters and you guys want it, I supply it. Because here is where the rubber meets the road, and we have real UFO transparency live on the fly. So let's get back to level 4. So somewhere between 3 and 4. MUFON is definitely not 2. They don't have MUFON's level 1. If you look at it, they don't have anything. If you go out with them, Ben Hansen will charge you money to look through his binoculars. I don't charge you shit. I just might look into if you're a troll before I meet you. So continue data validation, ensure calibration, bias, and hypothesis. So I'm somewhere in 4. See if I'm at 5. Draft and publication. I haven't done that, but ChatGPT could do it. Broadcast scrutiny by the public, media, scientific. Well, I am doing that, I think, by live, engaged with officials and institutions. I'm not hiding. Engaged with officials and institutions. Well, I think by applying with the FCC and sending them $175 to use radar for 6 months is engagement with officials or institutions for potential acknowledgement. So I'm hitting 5, I guess, if I get the radar. If I'd use it illegally, I'm level 3. I'm a little bit of everything here. See, full revelation of apparent nature. So it looks like these guys are operating the Skywatcher group appears to be operating between level 5 and level 6. So here's more breakdown. So here they laid it out. This is what MUFON should have did. This is the collective knowledge from the failure of fucking MUFON to get up off their ass and do anything. So bravo, you guys. Look, this is a huge potential. There could be a waterfall of data coming from these guys. I mean, this just inspires me to keep going. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Yeah, live at 6. We still got some more show to go through here. We just went through the Skywatcher material. Now we're going to go through what Jeremy Corbell did. So Jeremy Corbell released a video, another Tic Tac video from the USS Jackson. I haven't had too much time to do that because, as you guys see, as soon as I'm off work, ufology and husband. So Corbell dropped a Tic Tac video. Interesting video. There were, I guess, 4 of them that were sighted. One of them came out of the water. So I'm sure if you're... I almost joined the Navy, but they wouldn't take me. Anyway, I could imagine being in one of these ships, and this happens, because you sit around and it's boring. It's like Skywatching. Nothing happens, and all of a sudden, oh shit, there's some stuff, something to do. The adrenaline's going. You got these bogeys on radar. The captain of the ship's like, we're filming fucking UFOs. This stuff leaks, and it doesn't take too long. Gets to Jeremy, but he timed the leak to come out when the Skywatcher drop happened. Of course, man, we could all see that. I guess he didn't want a player stealing too much of the limelight. And then we had Jesse Michaels interview Stephen Greer. I've watched it. I'm not wasting any more of my life watching that liar. If whatever the good shit is will be snipped out and put up on Twitter, clips of the craziest stuff he says. So the only thing to watch him is to see if he doubles down and out crazies as crazy and maybe says, hey, they tried to give me $2 zillion to quit, but I wouldn't take it. What I don't like is how popular he is. That shows don't do science, don't do the real research, don't get level 1, 2, 3, or 5. Go to 6, start out, just jump to 6 and smear pure bullshit on everything. So Jeremy's video is interesting. What's interesting is how nonchalant it is. Like, we have a thermal video. This would be a big fucking deal in 2017. But ufology has moved so far that now it's kind of like, there's another video. So here's Jeremy's video. And what's at the top? Look at that white stuff. We can't read what it says on the screen. I don't carry watermarks, but look at the top. See that white stuff? He's filming the fucking screen again, I think. And I think there's a little bit more video. There were 2 of them, I believe, shot. And the X that's going on, the Tic Tac, is the auto tracking that's trying to target center. It looks like, and I'm not an expert because I'm not in the Navy doing this. They are. They're the experts. There's 2 of them there. But it looks like it does track and lock. That's what I'm assuming is the X would track it and then would put it, zoom in, and immediately put it in the crosshairs. And to me, it looks like they're having problems locking onto it. But we'll see more. Again, Jeremy might have said it, but it looks like it's tracking that and the thing's ditching the track possibly. But look how mundane it is. We're used to this stuff now. This is the norm now. And I like that norm. I like that a Tic Tac video can drop. And we're like, cool, there's more. The bullshit mountain that was built by Stephen Greer, the UFO evidence mountain will never be that high. But the pile of these, you could, 2013 Aguadilla video, this one, the gimbal, the Tic Tac, go fast, all this. It'll just be there's hundreds of these videos that the military has. If Pauline Luna can do anything, it can get some of these videos released. I'd like her to drop her Epstein crap and conspiracy and try and get the full gimbal video out. Try and get the full Go Fast video off. Those might be game changers. They already have the smoking gun, but the government's always going to say, means and methods can't give it to you. Sorry, means and method of data collection is more important than a jellyfish creature blocking electro-optical or fucking with a helicopter. Isn't that a bigger discovery than means and methods? Fuck means and methods. China copied everything. They already know what we got. Only the Americans don't know. So they should just let it out, but they're not gonna, so we have to go collect all the data ourselves. So that's what Jeremy put up. It got talked about on News Nation. It got in the psyche again, but then our news is owned by billionaires who pay millionaires to get us to fight each other over stupid crap and division. So I don't watch a lot of that. But there's a new Phoenix Lights documentary out. Whenever you see these documentaries, they take a while to come out. This is the last one that I know of. Well, there's maybe some other ones coming out, but the last one I participated in, this was last November when this was shot. There's a link in the description, so if you click more, it's an hour and 40 minutes long. Patrick James is the creator. He's the guy who has more subscribers than Michael Bean and Jamie Kennedy. Unbelievable. He makes some pretty good videos. He shot this in his cinematography is top notch. So he lives here in Phoenix, by the way. Nice guy. So he watched Investigation Alien, and he thought, shit, I live here. That's in my neck of the woods. I want to go around and talk to these people. So he kind of did everything that George Knapp did in Investigation Alien. He went around and talked to me and Dr. Lincoln Tai and Jim Delatesso and Francis Barwood and I think Uncle Dave's Kitchen was on there. He's in the chat somewhere, but he was on there. So he took his time. It took him months to do this. So I thought this could be one of the best Phoenix Lights documentaries ever done because it's by a local. He can take his time. He's not under time constraints of a podcast or a television show that is limited time. He can go in, get to know all the people, and see who's full of shit. How does his story hold up? 28 years later, Patrick's millennial generation. So his generation doesn't know squat about it. So Gen Xers and Boomers and maybe some older millennials, they might know about Phoenix Lights, but the younger people and the new generation, they never heard about it. They just read about it. It's a big sighting up there with Roswell. And most of the stuff, the investigation would be like the one on Netflix and whatever reruns are out there. There's not a lot that went in depth. Mainly it was a hit and run. They would fly one guy into town. He would hire local cameramen, talk to people real quick, get the videos and split. And then they'd go try and figure out how can we make this so it's provocative and sell a lot of commercials. So anyway, this documentary is pretty good. The main thrust of it is Jim Delatesso. Jim Delatesso in the Investigation Alien met one of the investigators in a truck, and he told him about the pilot from the F-15 that intercepted the Phoenix Lights boomerang. So he talked about that, but in this one, he talked about the video. So it goes way into the weeds. Patrick goes pretty deep with Jim in this, and I don't know. I read some of the comments online, and a lot of them, most of them get it, I think. I agree with a lot of what people say. There's a few lunatics out there that think the only person who knows anything about this is Tony Ortega and Mitch Stanley. That's noise that I just tune out. Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. I investigated it. I was there. Tony didn't investigate it. Didn't call me, Mike Christian, Lincoln Tai, Chuck Reardon, Terry Proctor, or nobody. He's a loser. And what's on Wikipedia is loser information from a guy who looks like Captain Kangaroo that's edited by the guerrilla debunkers that Rob Heatherly uncovered. So a lot of noise out there. But Jim's kind of villainized in this documentary. People, I guess they're looking to kind of cancel him because cancel culture comes after ufology, but cancel culture in ufology is old. The original cancel guy was Philip Klass. Philip Klass went right after your livelihood. He went after everything else first. And then he called your employer and said, "Did you know that this lunatic works for you?" This guy offered, I think, $10,000 to one of Travis Walton's witnesses in his group to turn on the group. He's a nasty, nasty piece of shit. Somewhere there's a line in the South of people standing in line waiting to piss on his grave. But they give out the Phil Klass Award at the Skeptics concert, and Mick West happily accepts that award. These people don't know what they're talking about. But so anyway, they villainized Jim because there's a rumor that there was a break-in at Village Labs and they stole all the data. So I'm going to address some of this stuff because I know about it. Francis Barwood says that somebody broke into Village Labs and stole everything, and what everything was the Bible. Michael Tanner had a collection of everyone's phone numbers, all the witnesses' names, all their drawings, original drawings, maps. He talked to him and Francis Barwood talked to face 750 people. And that's combined with all the reports I sent in, Bill Hamilton, whatever Jim collected, and Richard Mosser from MUFON. So there was nothing from Tony Ortega, and Dr. Lynn wasn't there. She came in like after the investigation was over, going, "Oh, here, you're done? Okay, here, I'll put this in the book." That was kind of her thing. So this Bible that Michael had, he had all the stuff. And right next to him was a photocopy machine. So I'd go in there, and it was, back then you were rich if you had a Xerox machine. So they had a Xerox machine in the building, and we used to, copy this, copy that. So Bill Hamilton had a copy of everything Michael had. So they're saying someone broke in there and stole it. I sort of remember a safe, but I don't think it was kept in the safe. They weren't like that. It wasn't like, "Oh, shit, we got to keep everything under lock key." There was no vibe at that at all. It was like a cool place to hang out. I went there by every 2 weeks to see what Jim was working on or ufology. But they're saying MIB or somebody broke in. Some lunatic actually thinks Jim broke into his own safe. So anyway, that's not the craziest part. Jim talks about he met the pilot. And if I understand this right, the pilot that piloted, he gives the name out. He founded some restaurant like Denny's, walked up to him, and the pilot, he ambushed journalism, and the pilot showed him the video. The pilot was sitting in a fucking Denny's with a high 8 tape that went into a high 8 recorder with a flip-up screen and showed Jim under the table. Bullshit. Okay, I'm breaking everybody's bullshit. There's no way that the pilot that intercepted the Phoenix Lights boomerang is sitting around in Denny's with his tape, ready to play at any time years later. And then Jim comes in and, fuck it, I'll play it for Jim. Man, Jim went way too far in bullshit there and busted. So, Jim, you can't tell when he's telling the truth and when he slips into this stuff. So he goes full Stephen Greer. You don't go full Stephen Greer. You dial that in. If you're going to bullshit people, don't go full Stephen Greer, and Jim Della Tesla did. But yeah, he comes out kind of like the villain of that. And Jim wasn't the villain. Jim was a good guy out of that. We're lucky we had Village Labs and Michael Tanner to collect this to begin with. So he's just the last man standing, man. He's an old guy, might have Alzheimer's. He might be making shit up, misremembering stuff. I don't think he even remembers breaking in the safe. If they broke in the safe, they would have told me about it because I was on great speaking terms with all those guys back then. And I remember Jim got evicted, and they had put an eviction thing. They were locking the place. They said, "Hey, we're selling everything. You need any furniture?" So I bought some office furniture from them. If somebody had broken and stole everything, Michael would have told me. Michael Tanner never lied. He wasn't like Jim. He talked. I'm Michael Tanner. He talked in a monotone voice, and it's kind of hard to listen to him for a half hour because of the monotone voice. But he had everything. I think that he still had that folder, and his kids inherited. It's that his kids probably have somewhere in a box all this stuff. But I'm not doing any more Phoenix Lights documentaries anymore. I mean, I spent 3 days on this one. The summation of it is I talked for 2 sentences, and I end up saying, here's some videos, here's some 4K stuff. A lot of these TV shows take days of your time. You're telling them who to talk to, the story over and over to person after person, and you never get credit for producing it. If you're lucky, you get a thanks and the credit. No IMDb, nothing. It's too much of my fucking time. I'm busy. I got subscribers here. I'm going to work for you guys. I'm not doing anymore. So if you see more of that stuff in the can that is coming out, and I was probably Fat Elvis back then when I was doing my Fat Elvis impersonation, and I had back problems and all that shit. So yeah, but watch that. That is still a great documentary, and they go into some videos of the boomerang that I guess the FBI stole. So that's a great Phoenix Light doc. You know, the guy who gives me credit on all his docs is Clive Christopher. He updates the IMDb for you. I've got cinematography credits from him. He's a great local producer. He's our new Village Labs, is Clive Christopher. He's in more. Now, he can't analyze videos like Jim, but he is a good, friendly guy that a lot of people in the Valley go to, and he produces videos, and he puts them out. And we're lucky to have, what we have. You go to UFOlogy with what you have, not what you wish you had. So, hey, it's good to see Rob here and Uncle Dave. Yeah, yeah. Well, Uncle Dave saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like spoon indentations on the bottom of the boomerang, and the city lights caught inside of those indentation, thousands of these spoon indentations, and they reflected off that. If I understand you right, Dave, that is your testimony. And then, and then they had, yeah, they did have you in that doctor. Remember, there was some kind of talked about it was a chevron shape, and there was some kind of exhaust or something you seen coming out the back. But yeah, watch that. It's in the link, and also last time on 4K Skywatching, I had a link to Art's Parts. So if you want to do a deeper dive, go to that guy's, watch Art's Parts Part 2, and he does, the hell is that? Electron microscope imaging of different parts, and some of them have that spoon indentation in the part, and all kinds of other stuff. So I haven't had time to go deep. See, that's why I'm going to spend my time at the time managed. I'd rather watch that than that 2-hour pitch and shit fest from Stephen Greer. That's a waste of my time. I try to optimize it and be efficient. So that leads me now to the mast update. Jesus Christ, this fucking thing. All right. That is still going. Let's show you where I'm at with that. Oh, thermal. Let's talk about what happened to thermal. I don't want to put out disinformation. When I get new information, I correct it. Last time on 4K Skywatching, I showed you some lines in the thermal cameras. I'm going to bring them up here in a second. I have 3 thermal cameras, and one of them hit the sun and burned part of the imagery into the burn it into the camera. Now, I originally said on episode 18, I believe that was the moon because I was filming the moon. But I thought, how is that possible? The moon can do burn in an image. I don't know. I never claimed I'm a thermal expert, but something did, and I was watching the moon earlier go up. I rewound the video, and I watched it. Horrifying. Horrifying. Now, you don't want to have any of your thermal images do this. So this is that camera, and that's the sun. And that was the day of the broadcast. Some clouds are going by. And this is also sped up. This is not real time. It's sped up on Thermal 3. So yeah, you never want to point these things at the sun. So it made that thermal track. So, but the good news is here we are live. There's a thermal system. I got for you guys. I filmed another sundown, so I watch the sun going down on some camera, and then I'll grab it and say that might make a hell of a time lapse, or I might see something strange flying. So let's activate this camera. Look at it. All right, so this is the one the sun flew through, and right about here, I can still see it. Now I thought about this is on hot black. Now if I flipped it to hot white, would the inverse of this fix it? So it doesn't look like too much. So let me move the camera down here. I think it's moving. Move these thermals around. Very strange. Thermal fork is, oh, it is working. I thought it wasn't working. All right, there we go. Ooh, shit, I might hit the building. There, now there's the moon. So, there's the moon. So that's what I thought over time was causing burn-in, because it's going to track up. And they talked about that as Skywatcher. They talked about balloons and stuff. They always track the same way. They don't like change directions, not very often. Now, I've seen balloons change directions, but it's kind of a rarity. So, yeah, you know, these are consumables. These won't last forever. At some point, these thermals, you know, will get used up. Just like if you have like third-gen night vision binoculars, those are. So I think I got this fixed so it doesn't point down on houses or something. I got to go mess. I got to adjust that because I haven't messed with the limit switches. It can still go up to the sun. So I'm kind of scared if I got to watch that and make sure it doesn't go up. Oh, interesting. Isn't it interesting that you can meet a person from another city that saw the exact same thing you did? Now, that's enough to put somebody in the electric chair if that was a crime. That you and another guy in the city both identified somebody who committed some crime, but when it comes to UFOs, the skeptics wobble. Oh, well, shit. Well, fuck. Like somebody said in the comments last time when I did an episode on flying humanoids, they bitched there was only one camera angle. As if we get multiple camera angles on a UFO sighting. That's rare. That's really rare. So yeah, but the thing is, the thermal still works pretty good. You know, that's not bad. I mean, Hubert is. I'll tell you, Hubert is. I think he has UFODAP, and he's on our Discord. Also, up in the link above, I put the UFODAP Discord. So if you want to see some UFODAP imagery, go to that Discord. I kind of hated Discord, to tell you the truth, but I'm kind of getting used to it. You go to that Discord, join it, and then click on videos, and you will see automatic tracking of UFODAP fucking up, but you're also going to see it locking in on airplanes and zooming in, and you go, holy shit, this is really good when you get this working. You're going to see a bunch of UFO clips. You're going to see thermal stuff. So you could freely go in and see, that's another place that's siloed off. of the web that you can't search. You can't go into Google search and it crawls that and finds it. You have to join it and go in. So a lot of these places that are siloed off, I think we need to fork up, join up. That's what we're doing on Discord. And then from there, let Skywatcher know. Let these Tedesco, they should get in there. You know, all these people, we need to get up kind of on the same page, get a baseline of what these 9 objects are, work that up to 10, you know, put the boomerang on there. They don't have the gimbal on there. And collectively put this together and push this forward. We need to motivate the next generation to get busy with this, to get on level 1 of that chart, get on level 2. I can see it on, I got a 60-inch in here, unfortunately. Rhonda would not let me put a TV in the bathroom. She said, you don't need that going to the bathroom. Onto the mask. Yeah, fuck, this thing is costing me money. So, last weekend, I got this piece of wood. What you're looking at is treated lumber. There's 2 4x6s, and in between them I sandwiched treated lumber 4x4. So I drilled through in 4 spots. And the holes where the 4x4s are because I'm going to put pegs in there. I'll show you that in a second. So then I was able, I don't know what this weighs, but somehow I hulked that thing into the ground. So that hole is almost 3.5 foot deep. And around the treated wood is roofing tar. And the reason there's roofing tar on there is to keep the water from touching the wood, because water, you know, because Arizona is a lot of water, right? Ain't no fucking water ever going to touch that. But that's just to preserve it. And then there's above that are 2x, I think those are 2x10s. So this whole square area is going to get rebar soon, and then 4 tons of cement are going in there. And this is the area live. So I can't really see it, but the backyard is a job site. But I said, fuck it. I'm going to also expand and put a spa back there, too. For the money I spent for the radar, I could have bought a small car. I could have bought a nice used car. I could have bought 2 hot tubs. I could have went to Hawaii 9 times. But you know what? I didn't, because I got skin in this game. And then also, this was pretty spendy, too. I have the air system pretty much built for the mast. So what's going to go on is I'm going to finish tying the lumber into the wall. I got to break through the drywall tomorrow morning, tie it together. There'll be some photos that will show you kind of how I did it. This thing's going to be pretty solid. Then the cement gets poured on April 19th, because that's when it's not going to be 100. It's supposed to be like 85. So that'll be all day pouring cement. Then that's going to sit for about 3 weeks. Then the mast is going to be tilted up. I'm going to drill 4 holes where there's going to be some things that slide into the mast that hold it into the wood. This goes into the bottom. So in the very bottom, 3/8 screws into the bottom. It's already paid, bought all the shit. And then it goes into this. This is for a drain to drain water. Then going up, so this will go through that treated wood, go up the back, and then it will come around the side. There'll be an air pressure gauge there. It goes up to 200 psi. And then over here will be a switch that goes on and off. Right here is a pressure release valve that any air compressor has to release pressure. So this will be the on and off. Right here is where you hook up the air compressor. So where you'd regularly have something for a home air compressor will do this. I don't know. I haven't powered it up, but it said fucking bike pump works, so this should work. So I'm going to plug the air compressor on there, turn it on, let that power up, then hit this button. You pull down, and voila, that thing's going to go up. So we're about 4.5 weeks from then. And what I want to do is time when I get that done, then put the radar antenna on, So I'm going to break through the wall to do all the wiring. Then take a photo of that. That photo is going to be submitted to the FCC for approval for experimental radar. So I can have a license to do this and do it legally, do a good path forward, be a good citizen, pay government taxes. We are going to pay some taxes. And then I will test what everybody else is. These UIPs show up on radar? Do balloons show up on radar? I'm going to check that with these guys. We know birds do. And this is a hell of an adventure. I've went too far to go back. So it's only going forward from here. Thanks for some of these guys who submitted to the site. You guys are going to get a lot of extra my time and bonus stuff. Now, let me show you just a little bit, because show's about over, some of what I'm going to be posting this weekend. So I took everything from March 13th, and to show that I do have channel under surveillance, I have a radius of going 10 miles out in every direction. So see, here's just a little bit of time lapse from March 12th going into the 13th. So this is my north camera, and this is just beginning of segment. And it's interesting to watch the clouds. But people ask me, oh, how do you know how high that is? Well, I can look on UFODAP to find out how high these clouds are. I can look on several systems and find out the altitude of these clouds. If the UFO goes through it, I know the altitude of the UFO in the distance. And as time goes on, the storm rolls on. So day goes into night. March 13th rolls in, and sun comes up. We get some low clouds, and then I'm going, hey, Clyde, are you going to do a Skywatch tonight on March 13th? And he's like, hell no, Tom, there's a storm coming in. So here comes the storm. But I said, I'm doing a live broadcast on that Thursday anyway. So, yeah, here comes the rain pouring down on the thermal camera. I don't give a fuck. I started looking around, see if any UFOs were flying through any of that. So that goes away. And there's that one. Here's another. This is looking west. So this is looking towards California. So if the boomerang flight path from here, if it showed up, did the exact same thing again, would be around cloud level. It'd be heading the opposite direction, going south. But this has some pretty interesting cityscapes. Same thing when the storm came in and rocked the camera systems. These cameras are pretty tough. So yeah, you guys, if you want, you can have it for B-roll. I film beautiful shit here. That's a couple of days. This is the camera I call up, because it looks up. That's all it does, is it looks up. It's an extra lane. It's an extra line. In case something happens, the all-sky camera might get it. Maybe the up camera get it. This camera is just, and I haven't watched all this. I don't have time. I just processed it. There could be all kinds of stuff flying around in here that I haven't seen. So I don't know. I'm going to put this out on Sunday. But what I'm thinking is thank you for those of you who have joined as a member. I'm going to put up some member stuff for you guys. I'm going to process some videos for you guys. I'm going to find what is the best camera. And that could be what you guys asked for. Do you want to see thermal? I could process and put 3 thermal cameras out and do something like this and put them up in the member section where you can go, okay, if you live in Phoenix, for example, and you want to say, I want to see what the hell happened on a particular night, you can join. We can get you that night loaded up. And it doesn't have to be time-lapse. It could be the real 30 frames per second, 4K stuff. So, and when the radar comes, we'll see what happens with that. But might be able to broadcast radar live for the members too, so they could see it. The radar shit's going to be tricky. The radar stuff right now, I'm shielding the GPS because it says my GPS right where I live. So I got to watch, and UFODAP does that too, and one of them. So you kind of got to watch that. Now that said, I know it's inevitable that somebody's going to dox me and then use that for bragging rights. A lot of people know where I live. I'm not doing any more Phoenix Lights docs, and it's going to be tougher to get in this lab with just trusted people. So yeah, eventually there's going to be a level, because right now I'm siloed off. Not too many people know what the hell I'm doing, but at some point that's going to happen. So like the path that Jake Barber was saying, you be careful what you fuck around with, because I'm going to Shields tomorrow. Pick out some new hardware. I'm done for a while buying some cameras. I don't know what's going to happen with the economy, but goddamn, do those silencers look good at Shields? So silencers are legal in this state. You can get them for shotguns. You can get they sell a 50 caliber sniper rifle in that place. That place is fucking crazy. When they have humanoid robots, they'll be selling them in Shields, and they'll be holding those weapons. Home security, personal Terminator. Add to cart. So that's been a wrap. Yeah, I knew this was going to be a long show because I'm not going to glib through Skywatcher's 2 stuff. Yeah, that dog whistle, I think, is a radio for a low frequency radio. Is it 1.6 gig? I don't know. But next week my AirSpy should be working good, so we'll check that out and see what I'm getting on that. The people on the Discord for UFODAP said that when the International Space Station flies over, listen on 1.6 gig, you will hear them doing ground communications up into space. But why would the aliens use it? They're not going to get, they're not going to mess around. They're staying legal too. Do they have a license with the FCC? Fuck no. So I don't get why they would pick the signal that humans are using. But yeah, okay. Next show, Wes, I'm going to put your egg into this AI system. And you know what? I'm going to email you. Let me know your email. I'll email you. There's different configurations like high 4K, 8K, this AI model, so I can run it through a few. What I'm thinking is there's a limit of what we can extract, but maybe we can get some design details on that egg, maybe. Kind of looked like it might be able to do that. But I don't like just taking willy-nilly stuff and putting it up here unless it's really newsworthy. So we'll take a look at your egg video, and I'll run it through the rigmarole. So man, I want to thank everybody who joined. Oh fuck, $20 super chat. How am I missing this? Oh, thank you so much. My wife. Shit. I don't even watch myself. It's fucking ridiculous half the time. My wife really thinks that because that hole in the backyard, I throw $100 bills in there. Hopefully, it's going to get some cement on it. And we got Truth Seeker too. You're the guy. You're the guy in the chat said on the comments said, "Hey Tom, you think about X-band radar?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." Then I fucking bought it 3 days later. I'm gonna stop listening to you. You give out expensive advice. So let me wrap this up. So there's a little bit of funding. So this is going to keep going. Yeah, get back to the chat. Yeah, I'd love to have you on the show if you want to come on here, Dave. You too, Rob. I'm not really big into. Let's just do a whole bunch of guests and try brouhaha. I want to do the science and I want to do the nerd stuff till I run out of it. Now I run out of material. I'm sure I could talk fucking as long as I had this Folger. I drink Folgers from fucking 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. I don't drink beer no more. I'm stuck with this shit and tea. Yeah, I showed how to get the permit. I am going to get it, but I'm going to wait about 5 weeks until that's up. I will never test it, ever, until I get that permit. If a hockey puck shows up and that radar is up on the pole and I just hit a button and I get it, nah. The wherewithal in me is strong enough in the force not to run it illegally because nothing here, everything here is legal. Everything here is legal. Man, I hope I get in touch with Jake and those guys. But yeah, I'm in their corner. I'm in their corner. Um, we showed you guys tonight. So every episode, people learn something. That if what the people on social media are calling balloons, they got it jamming electron. Explain that. So they put this out. The website says it's coming soon. When that's updated, I got to take a look at it with you guys. I'm excited because if they have reports of this, then we got to look at things differently. That UAP are mimicking us. If they're mimicking planes, drones, balloons, what the hell? Oh, another thing, and this is a rabbit hole I won't go in. There's also a link in the description to plasmoid anomalies. Now, plasmoid anomalies has been skywatching and doing this for 10 years. And this guy has some better equipment than I do in many ways. He has thermal equipment, uses IR to spot them, he uses a telescope to zoom in. However, his ladder in the rabbit hole is fucking deep because he looks at these things as plasmoid, not balloons, plasma, in the shape of balloons that are sending communication and letters. And I'm looking at it going, dude, that's just the letter 5. I saw that at Safeway when I got groceries. But that dude is like, no, dude. It's plasmoid in the shape of 5. Watch the video. And some of his stuff freaked me out. This guy, somewhere on his channel, has a flying tree branch. It's no shit. It's some twigs, and they're flying in the air. How the fuck he got that? But it's like, well, maybe there's... No. I got that ladder, and I climbed out of the plasmoid anomaly. Now, there's a link up there if you want to look at it. This guy's got tons and tons of footage. He's another Skywatcher that does dual or triple optics. I don't know how he fell into the number 5 is that, because to most of us, I mean, that's a 5. But that's another area that's so deep down the rabbit hole. I'm not going back there. So I put it up there just so you're aware of it. But what if he's right? What if these things are mimicking this? This might be one of the reasons why Department of Homeland Security and everybody won't talk about what those drones were. Because from what I know, from what I researched with the Tedesco brothers, these things have been coming out of the water, been recorded for now, at least since 2020. It's been documented. It might be going on for decades, but we just didn't have Tedesco brothers sitting next to the ocean with thermo, waiting for it. So let's probably say it's not brand new. We just, like, when they updated the radar and started seeing UFOs, the UFOs didn't show up the day the radar got updated. They were there the whole time. And these things coming out of the water probably are there the whole time. We just started figuring this out when somebody got radar or thermal and started seeing it. They're seeing this on the ship that Corbell sees it. Tedesco brothers see it. So if these guys and these drones, these things turn into drones, these Tic Tacs. So if they look like aircraft the size of a bus, Homeland Security can't say we have stuff that's mimicking stuff. Like we have NHI mimicking man-made stuff. Because if they can do a Cessna or whatever, they can do anything. I mean, that was one of the reasons Bob Dean said this is covered up to begin with. Because there's aliens that look just like us, and we can't tell them apart. Even if you did a DNA sample, it would come out just like ours. We can't tell them apart because our DNA is mixed with theirs. So there's some there. So lesson learned, we need to very carefully look at these jellyfish videos, be patient, and wait for more information, but let's collect it. Let's collect it ourselves and group up. God damn, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. I gotta collect some more videos for you guys and set up some gear. Next week's, I'm gonna do a Skywatch remotely, and I'm gonna do it for you guys who join. So I'm gonna tune this in for good reasons. It's only like, I think $3 a month. I mean, shit, the pack of cigarettes gonna go double if you smoke. Buy all the beer you can, that's gonna double. So we'll see you guys next time. I didn't even have time to make an outro video. I'm Yeah. Let's hope you're not right, Renee. I do not want that. I almost hope that jellyfish video that Corbell put out gets debunked. That's too creepy. That's too creepy to go that they have these little devices they fly around. And what kind of weapons would they have? Because these things don't fly around, and let themselves get shot down like those goddamn eggs. All right, so that's it for this episode. Episode 20. I'm almost done just a half a year. Going to be more stuff. Time to go shopping with some guns. Thank you. We'll see you guys. I might jump on Twitter in a few and see what's up. So we'll see you guys next time on 4K Skywatching. I'm Tom King. This is episode 19. We'll see you next time with more footage. There's always UFO